Aiden, 23, broke, and clinging to the edge of a life that felt like it had passed me by before it even began, was my daytime persona. My days were filled with endless temp jobs and side hustles in downtown Seattle. But my nights were for Amber. And for the secret I held, a secret that transcended mere identity. From a young age, Aiden had always felt a disconnect with his body. Deep down, he yearned to be a woman. He often dreamt of long hair, silk dresses, the liberating feeling of embodying a different version of himself. But it remained a distant dream, a secret he buried deep within. Then it started a year ago, an old apothecary in a dusty corner of Pike Place Market. I wasn't looking for magic, just a strong herbal tea for my constant fatigue. Instead, a small, unlabeled vial caught my eye. For clarity, the old woman behind the counter murmured, pressing it into my hand. A drop at dawn, a drop at dusk. Curiosity, or perhaps a desperate longing for something else, made me try it. The first sunrise after that, I woke up feeling different. Lighter. My limbs felt more slender, my voice softer. I stared in the mirror, my heart hammering. My reflection stared back, undeniably feminine, undeniably me, in a way Aiden never was. And by sunset, as the second drop dissolved on my tongue, I shifted back, bone by bone, muscle by muscle, into Aiden. It wasn't a choice. It was a consequence. Every sunrise, Aiden vanished, and Amber emerged. Every sunset, Amber faded, and Aiden returned. I was a prisoner of the potion, trapped in a constant cycle of transformation, living two lives, neither of them fully my own. My shoebox apartment became a sanctuary, a dressing room for my nightly transformation. My name's Aiden, though I sometimes go by Amber. Only when the sun sets, and no one's watching. I never told anyone, not even Emma, my girlfriend of nearly 2 years. She thought she knew everything about me, and maybe I let her believe that. How could I explain the way I felt when I put on a pair of heels as Amber, or the strange comfort I found in lipstick and silk, knowing that by morning I'd be Aiden again? It wasn't about fetish or fantasy. It was about accepting a side of me that was now physically, undeniably real, yet completely hidden. I met Emma at a food truck festival. She was this radiant mix of charisma and chaos, laughing too loud, demanding extra hot sauce, and tipping every vendor like she owned the world. Turns out she kind of did. Emma was the only daughter of a wealthy hotel tycoon. Though she hated when people brought it up, she never acted like she had money. Not at first. She was spontaneous, messy, and made life feel like an adventure. She also made it clear from the beginning. She hated liars. It's not the act, it's the betrayal. She once told me during a long, wine-fueled night on her balcony. You can't truly love someone if they're showing you a version of themselves that isn't real. Those words haunted me, especially on the nights when I stood in front of my bedroom mirror as Amber, a wig perfectly styled, a dress hugging my frame, lips painted the shade of bold confidence. I'd stare at myself and wonder, was this the version of me Emma couldn't love? We never lived together, but she visited often. Her presence was like a whirlwind. Perfumed air, high heels on hardwood, music playing loud even when she wasn't dancing. I'd clean up everything before she arrived. Tuck away Aiden's clothes, hide the potion vial, wipe the makeup stains from the sink. It was exhausting. The irony? Emma always said she loved honesty. And here I was, living not just a lie, but a magical one. But I wasn't dishonest to hurt her. I was dishonest to protect the fragile balance I'd built. I told myself she wouldn't understand, that she'd see me as some freak, someone broken, a magical anomaly. I couldn't risk it. So, I became good at pretending, smiling when I wanted to cry, staying quiet when I wanted to scream. Then came the job. It started like any other odd request. Emma was pacing around my apartment, furious after another fight with her father. Something about her trust fund being frozen until she got her life together. I swear he wants me to be this perfect little eyes, she snapped, lighting a cigarette she didn't even inhale. Wants me married off to some rich boy like I'm a pawn in his empire. I stayed quiet. When Emma was like this, she wasn't looking for advice, just an audience. I told him I was in love, she added suddenly, glancing at me with a mischievous glint. With a girl. I nearly choked on my tea. Her smirk widened. You should have seen his face. Priceless. Thing is, now he wants to meet her. He's flying in next week. I blinked. Wait, you told him you were dating a girl, Emma? But you're not. Emma tilted her head. Aren't I? She said it so casually, so recklessly, as if it were a joke, a move in a twisted game. What are you going to do? I asked slowly. I'm going to introduce him to my girlfriend, she said with a devilish grin. You? I stared at her, thinking she had to be joking. But Emma leaned in. Dead serious now. Think about it. You don't have to say anything. Just dress the part. Act sweet. Hold my hand. I'll pay you $5,000 for the weekend. Silence stretched between us. She thought I'd laugh or freak out. But what she didn't know, what she couldn't know, was that my heart had already started racing. Not from fear, but from something else. Possibility. She had no idea what she was offering me. Not just a role to play, but a fantasy handed to me on a silver platter. A weekend to be Amber. Openly, in the spotlight, with purpose. My mind whirled. What if this was my chance, just for a few days, to be Amber, to feel real? But then another thought crept in. Could I really do it? Could I fool her father? This corporate titan who would see right through me if I wasn't perfect? Could I risk slipping, saying the wrong thing, being exposed? And worse, what if Emma found out the truth? That I wasn't pretending as much as living, transforming, being a secret magic? I looked up at her. Her eyes sparkled with mischief. Come on, she said. It'll be fun. I nodded slowly. All right, I said. Her grin widened. Good. You'll be perfect. I wasn't so sure. But in that moment, something shifted. I had just agreed to spend a weekend pretending to be my girlfriend's girlfriend. Something that felt like a lie, and yet more honest than anything I'd ever done before. What I didn't know was that this wasn't just a game. This was the beginning of a trap I wouldn't be able to escape. The next morning, Emma arrived with 3 garment bags, a rolling suitcase, and a wicked smile that told me I was in way over my head. Say hello to your new wardrobe, she beamed, tossing one of the bags onto my bed. Hope you like high fashion, babe. She winked as she said the word babe, like she was already practicing the act. But I could barely breathe. I unzipped the first bag and stared. Silk, lace, delicate blouses, and tight skirts. Heels in a rainbow of colors. Wigs in soft blonde and deep brunette. It wasn't just a costume. It was thoughtful, curated, like she knew exactly how to make Amber come to life. How did you? I started. She smirked. I've seen your Pinterest boards. You really should log out of your browser when you're using my laptop. She waved me off casually. Anyway, I figured this might help. We're supposed to look in love, remember? My face flushed. A dozen emotions churned at once. Embarrassment, panic, and something else, relief. Maybe even a twisted form of joy. She knew. She had seen. And instead of running or mocking, she brought me this. Come on, she said. Try it all on. We've got 3 days to turn you into my flawless, drop-dead gorgeous girlfriend. My dad's flying in Friday. By then, you need to know how to walk, talk, and flirt like someone who could make a billionaire's daughter fall head over heels. The next few hours were surreal. Emma played stylist and director while I stripped away layers of who Aiden had pretended to be for years. I stepped into the bathroom with trembling hands, unzipped the second bag, and stared at the outfit she'd chosen. A soft mauve wrap dress with a cinched waist, paired with nude pumps and delicate gold earrings. I hesitated before slipping into it. My hands shook. My heart thudded in my chest. But as the dress hugged my body, a strange calm settled over me. I wasn't hiding. I was stepping into something. Into Amber. Emma knocked once and barged in, grinning. Don't be shy. Let's see you. Her eyes widened as I turned around. Oh my God. She circled me like I was her personal masterpiece, adjusted a strand of my wig, fixed my posture, added a touch of gloss to my lips. Girl, you're hot, she declared proudly. My dad's going to believe every second of this. I managed a nervous smile. She suddenly grabbed my hand. Come here. Emma pulled me to the living room mirror. Look at her, she whispered. You are her, Amber. The name echoed in my ears. I had never heard anyone else say it aloud before. Amber. And for the first time, it didn't feel like pretend. We rehearsed every night. Emma taught me how to sit, how to smile, how to hold her hand just right in public. She gave me a crash course in lipstick application and eyelash glue. I practiced walking in heels until my calves burned. I learned to laugh at the right moments, lean in during conversations, tilt my head when I was pretending to be flattered. It wasn't easy. Every second felt like balancing on a tightrope, one stumble away from disaster. But at the same time, it was exhilarating. In those moments, I wasn't Aiden the liar. I was Amber the girlfriend, beautiful, confident, free. By Thursday, we had it down. The giggling, the inside jokes, the subtle touches. It was all fake, but weirdly not. Don't fall in love with me, Emma teased one night as we shared a pint of ice cream on the couch. Too late, I joked back, but the laugh stuck in my throat. Was it too late? I didn't know where the pretending ended, and the real feelings began. I didn't even know who I was anymore. Aiden in costume or Amber breaking through. And then came Friday, the day I met Mr. Cromwell. Emma's father was exactly what I feared, tall, severe, and impossible to read. He arrived in a sleek black car, bodyguards in tow, and carried an aura of authority that made me want to shrink into the carpet. But Amber wouldn't shrink. She had to smile, hold Emma's hand, and introduce herself with perfect poise. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Cromwell, I said, praying my voice didn't crack. He raised an eyebrow. So, you're the one who's captured my daughter's attention. His tone was unreadable. Was it disapproval? Curiosity? Suspicion? Emma leaned her head on my shoulder and gave me a squeeze. She's everything I told you she'd be. Her father stared a moment longer, then finally nodded. Well, I suppose we'll see. Dinner was unbearable. Mr. Cromwell grilled me about my background, my goals, my intentions. Emma deflected some of it, made jokes, steered the conversation, but I could feel his eyes on me the whole time, watching, studying. Sweat clung to my back. I could barely eat. I forced smiles, said polite things, and prayed he didn't notice the trembling in my hands. But worst of all, part of me liked it. Liked sitting there in my floral dress. Liked the warmth of Emma's hand in mine. Liked being seen as her girlfriend, even by someone as intimidating as her father. Was this the fantasy or the beginning of something real? The second night was easier, or so I thought. We went out to a gallery with some of Emma's old family friends. They all believed I was exactly who I pretended to be. They complimented my style. One even asked how we met, and I improvised a cheesy coffee shop, love at first sight story that made Emma laugh. But when we got back to the hotel, things shifted. Emma poured wine and kicked off her heels. You were amazing tonight, she said. Thanks, I murmured, unzipping my dress slowly. Do you think they believed me? She looked at me quietly. I don't think anyone's ever believed in you the way you believe in this. I froze. What do you mean? I mean, the way you light up when you're her, Amber. She sipped her wine. It's not an act for you, is it? The air turned thick. My pulse pounded in my ears. I started, but she cut me off. You don't have to lie, she said softly. I already know. I sat down on the edge of the bed. My hands gripped the hem of the dress in my lap. Then why are you still helping me? I whispered. Why not run away like everyone else would? Emma knelt in front of me. Because I don't think you're broken. I think you're transitioning. And I want to see what happens when you stop hiding. My eyes stung. No one had ever said that to me before, not even myself. She didn't know about the potion, not yet, but she understood the heart of the matter. But good things never last. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of someone banging on the suite door. Emma was still asleep, curled under silk sheets. I patted over in a robe, hoping it was just room service. It wasn't. It was her cousin Lily, blonde, nosy, and dangerous. I knew it, she sneered, stepping inside without permission. You're not who you say you are. My blood ran cold. She held up her phone. It was a video. Not a photo, but a time-lapse, grainy footage from a hidden camera in my old apartment from months ago. It showed Aiden, at sunset, taking a drop from the vial, then slowly, impossibly, morphing into Amber. And then, at sunrise, Amber shrinking back into Aiden. I didn't even know the video existed. Lily's eyes were ice. This is beyond blackmail gold. This is extraordinary. My uncle has been looking for something like this for years. And you, my dear, are living proof. She smirked. I don't know who you really are or what that little potion is, but I'm going to find out. And when I do, you and Emma are done. And Uncle will have his prize. She turned on her heel and left, leaving the door swinging behind her. I shut it, shaking. My secret wasn't just Emma's to find out anymore. Now someone else knew, and they were going to use it, and perhaps even exploit the magic itself. Emma knew something was wrong the second she saw me. I stood frozen by the door, still trembling from Lily's visit. My robe was slightly open, the chill of the hallway clinging to my skin. Hey, she said gently. What happened? I couldn't speak. She walked over, wrapped her arms around me. I collapsed into her shoulder, shaking. She knows, I whispered. Lily, she knows I'm not who I said I was. She has a video of me transforming. Emma stiffened. Transforming. Her voice dropped, still in her tone. The potion. I finally confessed, the words tumbling out. The reason I'm Amber at night, and Aiden by day. She has proof. Emma pulled away, hands gripping my shoulders tight. Her expression was a mix of shock and dawning horror, but not disgust. I'll handle Lily, she said finally.
How?
Her voice dropped cold and hard. She's always wanted to ruin me, but if she tries this, she'll be the one who falls. And if she touches that magic, she's crossed a line. I wanted to believe her, but fear gnawed at me. What if Lily leaked the video? What if Mr. Cromwell, now knowing about the potion, saw it? What if this perfect fantasy shattered, and I was left with nothing, my unique reality exposed and possibly exploited? Later that day, I sat at the edge of the hotel bed, staring at the dress Emma laid out for the gala that night. It was breathtaking. Black velvet with sheer lace sleeves, open back, and a slit up the side that made my knees weak just looking at it. You don't have to wear it, Emma said, sitting beside me. Not tonight. I'll tell my dad you're sick. We can hide.
But something in me snapped.
No, I said. I'm going. Let them look. Let them wonder. I picked up the dress and walked to the mirror. I'm not ashamed of her anymore, I whispered. Not of Amber. Not of this. The gala was held in a historic ballroom downtown. Glittering chandeliers above and marble floors below. It was the kind of place where money dripped from every surface and secrets hid in every corner. We arrived hand in hand. Emma looked radiant in red, her smile a polished shield. I followed her lead, heels clicking like punctuation marks on every step. Inside, Mr. Cromwell raised his glass in greeting. His eyes lingered on me just a second too long. Did he know? Had Lily already said something? I swallowed hard. Look at you two, said a woman from the board, sipping champagne. What a stunning couple. I smiled, said, thank you. Tilted my head the way Emma taught me. But every compliment felt like a test. Every glance a threat. And then I saw her, Lily, at the top of the stairs in a silver dress that sparkled like ice. She smirked and raised her phone. Emma gripped my hand tighter. Stay calm, she whispered. She's bluffing. But then Lily walked down the stairs and straight toward Mr. Cromwell. My breath caught in my throat.
No, y whispered.
She's going to tell him everything. Emma didn't hesitate. She let go of my hand and marched toward them. For a moment, I just stood there, paralyzed. Then something inside me snapped again. I followed. The confrontation was quiet but fierce. By the time I reached them, Emma was standing between Lily and her father, arms crossed. She's not who she says she is, Lily said coolly, holding up her phone. Do you really know who your daughter's dating, Uncle? Do you know what she really is? What Aiden becomes? Mr. Cromwell looked between them. What is this? Emma stepped closer. It's a lie. A pathetic attempt to sabotage me because I got the Cromwell Foundation seat over her. And because she's jealous of Amber. Lily's eyes glittered. Check the photo, Uncle. Or are you scared of the truth? A truth that changes with the sun. Mr. Cromwell slowly took the phone. The room spun. I could barely stand. Then suddenly a strange silence fell. Mr. Cromwell looked at the video, then at me, then back at Emma. A flicker of something, not surprise, but recognition, and something predatory, crossed his face. He handed the phone back and said calmly, I've always believed the truth finds its way out, Lily. But some people use it like a weapon. You're one of them. Lily's jaw dropped. You're taking their side? I'm choosing dignity, he said. Now leave. She stormed out, shaking with rage. I stood frozen. Emma walked back to me slowly. You okay? She whispered. I nodded.
Barely.
But then Mr. Cromwell walked toward me. Miss Amber, he said, and for the first time, he sounded warm, almost calculating. I've seen a lot of people pretend in my life. You aren't one of them. What you are is a scientific marvel. And he walked away, a glint in his eye I didn't like. My legs nearly gave out. We sat in the limousine afterward, both of us in stunned silence. You did it, Emma finally said. You stood tall. You were her. I looked down at my painted nails, the hem of my gown. My reflection in the mirror opposite showed a woman glowing with confidence and fear, and something dangerously close to pride. It wasn't just an act, I admitted. It hasn't been for days. It's the potion. I'm Aiden by day, Amber by night. It's not a choice. It just happens. Emma reached for my hand. I know. I've known for a while. I found the vial. I saw the videos on your laptop, the ones you took of your transformations, trying to understand it. I
didn't know how to ask.
Silence again, but now it felt peaceful. She leaned her head on my shoulder. What happens next? I asked. She smiled. That depends. Are you Amber just for tonight, or? I don't think I can go back, I whispered. To hiding. To pretending I'm not her. To pretending this magic isn't real. She nodded. Then don't. Back at the hotel, I changed out of the gown slowly. Every hook and zipper felt symbolic, like peeling back armor. I stood in front of the mirror in a slip, my makeup still perfect, wig still flawless, but I wasn't ready to remove it. Not yet. That's when I heard the knock. I thought it was Emma, but when I opened the door, it was Lily again. She stepped inside uninvited, eyes cold. You think you've won? You think my uncle believes you're really in love? She pulled out her phone. I didn't just have one photo. I have everything. Videos of every single transformation, names, your old address, even your family's medical history. Want to know what else I found? The apothecary where you bought that little miracle. She tossed something onto the bed. A USB drive. I already sent a copy to my uncle. He's very interested in the formula. You've got 24 hours to disappear, or I make this go viral. And you'll be a specimen for the world to see. She turned and walked out. I stood there shaking. Everything I'd built, everything I'd become, it was all in her hands. And in that moment, I knew I wasn't pretending anymore. And I couldn't run. Not now. Not ever. The hotel room was silent except for the ticking of the antique clock on the wall. I sat on the edge of the bed, still in my slip and heels, holding the USB drive Lily had thrown at me. My hands were trembling. My reflection in the mirror looked more like a ghost than a girl. Emma walked in moments later, still glowing from the gala. But the second she saw my face, she knew something had changed. What happened? She asked. I held out the USB. She came back, I whispered. Lily? Emma took the drive without a word and plugged it into her laptop. The screen flickered. A folder opened. Inside, dozens of photos, screenshots, video clips, every trace of my old life mixed with moments from this new one.
A.